Welcome to Remembering Her Voice podcast journey into feminine ancestral memory and wisdom with Veerle Phara. Today hosting Carole Verbeeck on Earth Wisdom. Welcome sisters, welcome brothers, welcome tribe. Sister Carole, a warm welcome to Remembering Her Voice.
You.
Yes. So we are both sitting here, actually not so far from each other, like 1.5 hours in the southwest of Portugal. One of the, I have to put a hand on my heart, so many things that connects us. One of the so many things that connects us. And I would love to open these fields for this first step in this journey on remembering a voice, where we dive into feminine ancestral memory and wisdom. And let's do this by opening the fields for you, for us, and for the theme we are going to explore and dive into today, which is Earth Wisdom. So we'd love to light our candle for this so we can open the fields. There we go. There we go. So my name is Veerle Phara, and I open these fields for remembering a voice, diving into Earth Wisdom together with Carole today. And I open to all the wind directions, to the spirits visible and invisible that are here to guide us, to support us in this journey. I am opening to the field above us. I am opening to the field below us. And I'm opening to this world, to the world that we live in, to planet Earth, to the wisdom of the earth, and to that what we are remembering. Yeah, the deep wisdom and the joy and the authenticity and the memory that it may flow back to us. So let's take a deep breath on that. So, my drive to begin this podcast journey is to remember her voice, remember the voice of the earth, remember the voice of the feminine, remember wisdom, remember that what is beneath the layers, beneath many layers of all the elements, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, the wind. And while tuning in into this journey, I was wondering who would be a sister that I would love to start with. Someone who has been carrying a specific voice actually in her memory, in her ancestral memory. Some of the sisters know, and some of the brothers who are listening also know it. I've been sitting with you not so long ago on your beautiful land in the southwest of Portugal, in the Tumbana, in Alentejo, in a vision quest. I had this amazing honor to sit there days and nights, to go within, to listen to the earth, to listen to the stones, to listen to nature, to listen to universe, to all the elements. And I thought, how beautiful would it be to start with Carole? We know each other from a long time, and actually we have met in what I call the temple of the earth, and the sweat lodges, the wombs of the earth, which I've been guiding for more than 15 years now. I've guided like over 300 sweat lodges, and all of them are each time again diving deeper into the earth, into all the elements. So we are both born in Belgium. We both live in the southwest of Portugal. And as I said, there is much more that connects us. What connects us is our love for nature, for the earth, for our bodies, for how the mycelium of life, how the mycelium of the earth and all the elements is connected with each other as mycelium for the cycle of life and nature. And before we dive a little deeper in that, you know that I also love the word mycelium. I guess we'll bring this back a couple of times in this sharing. I would love to, yeah, give the word to you, that you can present yourself a moment to everybody who's listening. Welcome, sister.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, for opening this journey that you're starting, sending out into the world. Podcast, remembering her voice, earth wisdom. Yeah. Yeah, and how funny we both end up in the southwest of Portugal. And
I feel really touched. Yeah, maybe that's also the feminine way, remembering to feeling in the heart. Yeah.
yeah, our tears as medicine.
Our tears are medicine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our
Yeah.
tears of medicine and our tears are medicine. Yeah, beautiful.
Especially here in the southwest where the land is so dry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what to say? um, yeah, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a mother. I'm a friend, I'm a lover. um, she's very dear to my heart that since 4 years, I had the amazing privilege, that's how it feels, to co-steward this beautiful land here, which has been bought out of private ownership. And I'm one of the stewards, and the vision we hold there is the regeneration of land, and through the regeneration of land, the regeneration of people, humans. I'm also, as you say, a quest guide. I love working with women. I'm a somatic sexologist, sexological body worker. Worked a lot with men and women, mainly with women. Topics of intimacy, sexuality, body, and more, I've always been close to the earth, and more the earth has been weaving together with all of that, and there's not so much separate in that anymore. Working with body, working with earth. Yeah, and I'm currently just deepening my relationship with earth, and also my work in there through living this life. And also you were mentioning the training I'm doing right now. I'm doing an animism and earth ritual practitioner training, which is all about reconnecting and connecting deeper to the land, to place, to earth, and the other than human world, including humans, but especially also to the earth. Yeah. So that's a bit of where I am.
Yeah, feeling too. What is the theme that I would love to start with? Because this journey into feminine ancestral memory and wisdom is really about liberating and remembering and empower feminine energy in many forms. And I feel like each conversation is like a sacred word. It's like we create altars made of attention and honesty and breath and depth, peeling off layers and layers. And I felt we need to start with the earth. We need to start with the earth because the earth is asking for attention more than ever. It's asking for remembrance. It's asking for honesty, it's asking for understanding, it's asking for reciprocity. People who don't know me very well, I have a very, very deep connection with the Andes, and there we call it Aini. It's the reciprocity, the balance between what do we receive from the earth every day unconditionally, again and again and again and again, and what are we giving back? So maybe let's start with this. What is that word means for you, reciprocity? I need the giving and receiving from the earth.
Oh, I find it like such a juicy topic. Yeah, and as you started to say, the first thing that comes up in me, and that I'm learning, so I don't want to speak from a place that I'm there already. I think, as you say, it's about remembering. It's about remembering that. So we have to listen to the earth. We wouldn't be here without the earth in this, not in this form. So to think that there's also already a layer that I'm learning, and we're all relearning, I think, is the fact that we need to think, that we need to listen to the earth, is already like, wow, that comes from the disconnection, that comes from the rupture. Because we are from the earth.
Yes,
we're not separate in this body form. We can say there's other energies, but in this body form, we belong to the earth, to the waters of the earth as well. So I'm going to use the word earth not just as the soil, but as the word that includes all beings that exist on this earth. And then the word reciprocity is like innate wisdom. There is no life for us if we wouldn't be in reciprocity. And maybe that is the world we look at right now, because as humans, we've evolved out of that innate reciprocity, out of connection with the earth, out of connection with our bodies. And if we look around in the world and we see what's happening, that is because we don't live that world anymore in relationship to the earth. Because as you say, we receive all the time. A lot of people these days, and it's including myself also, I want to be very compassionate with that. We feel we give all the time. We feel, and we are depleted. If you would turn it around, you say, what do we receive all the time? Every breath I receive, every day I receive from the earth, but we don't take it in anymore. We don't live in that felt sense relationship anymore. We've lost, I think, the essence of reciprocity.
Oh, wow. So I feel in this, I feel two themes, and let's see and dive into each of these moments. So one is exactly what you say. Sometimes we feel we lack life force. We feel not nurtured. I know this very well. Yeah. We don't feel we are resourced enough. Love that word also, to resource, to feel resourced. So that's one theme. How can we receive more from the earth? And the other aspect is, so how can I give back to the earth? How can I maintain that balance better? What is the act of reciprocity, of giving something back to the earth to maintain the balance and to keep the balance, or to rebalance? Maybe let's start about what is the receiving of the earth? How do you see this? Yeah. What do we need to do to feel really that we receive more from the earth?
Thinking now, part of the work that we do as attempts in regenerating the land. First, we have to work the earth. If we want to plant a tree, for example, we first have to open the earth very gently. First, we have to observe a lot, and then we see, okay, this earth is not ready to receive new growth. It's not ready to receive.
Mm-hmm.
It's too compacted. It's too depleted.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's very similar with our bodies,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the earth and the body. And I think we live in a time that many bodies, and I especially speak about like North European people, like where we come from, because there's many different cultures, and most of our bodies are contracted. It's too much tension. Our fascia, or like you were talking about the mycelium, maybe in our bodies also the fascial network is too dense. It's become too stuck, so we can't receive.
Mm-hmm.
You could say we have to work the earth again, just like you go for a massage and you feel like, now I can feel again. And for me, it's become something very similar. Before I plant a tree here, especially in the Alentejo, I can't just put it in. It's not gonna be happy.
Mm-hmm.
First, I need to think, okay, how does the water flow here? And will the water be able to drain as well enough? Okay, so I need to bring new soil. I need to open up a bit. I need to take care of the waters. And then when there's enough openness in the land, then we can receive.
So beautiful. So I hear observing, listening, being. Yeah? Just as we need to observe and listen and be with our bodies, that's what we first need to do with the earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then also a bit like the giving back, what you say is also, I think we live in a time where we can do a lot of praying.
Mhm.
There's also action required.
Mhm.
If I'm just going to sit on the land here and pray, which is amazingly important also, but it will take much more time before the land will be regenerated.
Mhm.
Rather, when I pray and I also put my prayer into action, so I give back,
Mhm.
then the land will regenerate more easily and more fast.
Mhm.
Then there's this, for me, it then becomes like a weaving of this receiving and giving, this reciprocity.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's not so linear anymore. So
So go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
some days I can be tired, but I can still feel okay. It's mine today to go and take care of that garden.
Mhm.
And I try to do it as gentle as possible for my body, and I try to be fully in there. But sometimes I have to do it, even when I'm tired, because it's mine to do. So I give and I receive back almost immediately, and the land becomes more beautiful, and I receive back, and it's not just for me, it's for the generations that come after me.
Mhm. So if we would be working with the earth in a much more, how would I say it, in a much more deeper grounded, deeper grounded, uh, genuine relationship with the earth, we would also be able to feel what she's truly giving us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when we forget that, which we have throughout history forgotten because we were cut off, so it's finding a way back to earth, but not just finding a way back, because sometimes people say, yeah, but I do go for a walk or I do work with the earth. But what I hear now from you is it's actually a layer deeper. It's a living prayer, actually. It's a living
Mm.
prayer. It's really, it's not just, okay, I work a bit with the earth, but I am with the earth. I am.
Mhm.
And the earth will also tell me when she's ready.
Mm.
A seed to receive, water to receive, and in what way she can be ready. So we're actually here restoring a link that we've forgotten. Yeah. It's not just I am with the earth. No, it's just how are you with the earth?
Yeah, because we're all with the earth.
Yeah.
Um,
Who are you with the earth? How are you with the earth? Yeah.
And it's also about, I think we've lost one way of saying it, we've lost the relationship with the earth. And sometimes when I hear Indigenous people speaking, it's still in their language, even though many of them also have gone through massive ruptures, and ruptures might not even the right word for it. So apologizing for that. But they still have it in their language. And I was born in a place, in time, in a culture where even the language lacks connection with the earth. That even one extra thing where I was born, culture, and it's not a judgment about my people, but it lacks story. I didn't receive stories even. Stories that are as ancient as people that come from the earth and that have the wisdom from land, from place, and it's in the words. And it's like, wow. So who do we then become? And I've worked with many women, and I know you as well. We both, and men, and so many of us, even with that, still remember it somewhere. It's in our bones, or it's our nature is speaking to us. The nature around us is speaking to us, or we're in contact with certain spirits or certain deities, or we feel close to a power object or an animal that feels very close to us and that we're in a relationship with. So even coming from a culture where the land hasn't been speaking for generations, and people have lost a relationship, even then it's in our bones.
It's beautiful what you're saying here because it reminds me the word, which is much more than a word. It's a concept. Is the word that we use in South America for Mother Earth. Well, there are different words, but one of the words is Pachamama. Reminds me that in many cultures, indigenous cultures, and you can feel it and observe it and hear it through their language, as you say, the earth is a being. It's a living being. It's not just something that is there, but it's alive, just as all the elements are alive. We say, Mama Kocha, Pakatina, it's the sacred water, it's Mother Water. Mama Kila, it's the grandmother moon. So every aspect, every element is a being. And when we relate to a being, it's something completely different than something that is not alive, because it invites us to connect to the earth as this complex being, and it asks us a sort of kind of presence to relate with the earth in a completely different way than we've done in the last centuries, and that ancient cultures and indigenous cultures remind us of.
Yeah. And somewhere in history, we never know, of course. It's always a bit tricky to say these things, but we've all been indigenous.
Yeah.
Most of human history has been without electricity, without technology. And of course, yeah, there's many different worlds and many different stories where humans have had more technology than we even have now, and in different ways. So, but there's been many years where humans were fully dependent into this to this connection, to see the earth as a living being, as family, and to relate to it from that place. And there was the also again in the so-called modern world, we think that we have a lot of choice and we can step away from family and step away from each other. And that might be sometimes with good reasons, also no judgment there, but there's been times when we couldn't do that. We had to make it work, or it would be dying, would be the only other option. So we had to treat it with respect, with reverence, and with humbleness, and we had to also get to know her. There was no other way than to get to know her. Because if we don't know the other, then we're also a bit lost.
Well, those two words, respect and humbleness, I find them very, very powerful words. You know, I've traveled around the world also. I've lived a long time in Latin America, and I've connected with many, many cultures in my search to a more authentic and genuine way of connecting with the elements and the earth and indigenous cultures, etc. And coming back to giving, to this reciprocity, that balance, because the earth is a being that we connect with, and that asks actually our respect and our humbleness towards. I mean, if you stand in places that nature is so powerful, like for example in the Andes, there you see these apus. Apus is it's not just a mountain; it's the spirit of the mountain. It's a living being standing in front of you. You become very humble. So we feel it's very, very natural that we give something in respect for the earth as a living being, connecting to all the elements, connected to the upper and the lower world and the ancestors that live there and the wisdom that is there. Because when you give something, and this giving it can be a prayer, it can be a bit of tobacco, it can be herbs, it can be akin to 3 coca leaves, it can be a song, it can be herbs, whatever. It can be, as you say, this work, this dedication to the earth. It's something very natural. It's very natural. It's not something that we do because we have to do it. No, we just feel this is normal, because that's the way that in ancient times and indigenous cultures who are still very connected to the land, I'm talking about those who are still very connected to the land, because so many are alienated from their lands, they still do that. It's normal, it's logical. When we created the Temple of the Earth here in Portugal, a retreat center, below each yurt, we created a despacho, which is a gift for Mother Earth. We made a hole in the earth, and we gave streets, and we gave anything that comes forth from the earth, we give back. And I've seen that in many, many, many cultures and in many rituals all over the world.
Yeah.
That brings to the land, to the ancestor, to the earth, and to yourself it's beyond imagination.
Yeah, and we again, where I come from is the extractive world. We take. Like all over the world, the things we buy in the shops in the north of Europe, maybe 95% is made in other places, in other lands. And there the water is used, energy is used, people are used. So then we can consume. And it's it's a turnaround I feel we're invited to make with our bodies, with the land. Being women, I find very, and I don't like to make too many differences between men and women, and because I feel we're all in it together. We need each other. We're in it together. We combine well. I mean, nature has made it like that, though. We're there to combine. So, but especially for women, I feel these days to come out of that extractive culture.
Mm-hmm.
One way of doing that is to go back to the earth
Mm-hmm.
in our bodies, to go through to our heart space, but into our lower belly, into our womb space, into our pelvic area, to really start embodying that. And then through our legs and our feet, also really into the earth, into the dark of the earth, into the light of the earth, into the waters of the earth, and to really figure out what can it mean if I'm not part or not too much part anymore of that extractive world. How does it look when I start to experiment with this receiving, giving, this reciprocity, with this deep knowing that I belong to this planet, to this earth, that it's family. It's not something I walk on. It's not something I can take from. But then how does that look? And so many women so easily, as you say also, that so many women know prayer, know giving. It's in our natural beingness also to give. And yes, many of us are tired, especially again from the modern world. But so we also really have to become like a bit we have to learn to discern also. We can't heal the world, the earth in one go. We can't heal our bodies even. Sometimes maybe it's not going to happen in our lifetime because we live in a very ruptured world. So it might not be a completed job. So we have to learn to discern also, and okay, what's mine to do in this reconnecting with earth, in this being on this planet.
Can we offer this as a question to all the women, the sisters, the brothers, whoever is listening? Could you formulate this in a question? I love this. Like, what is yours to do? But in your words, how would this be a question? So we can also take this home and let it sink down and feel into it. So,
yeah, and I could even like feel I'm closing my eyes for that. It's like even invite for you to really sit on the earth for a moment. And if you're sitting on a chair, imagine that the earth is still underneath you, or even if you're sitting on the third floor in a building, like imagine that the earth is really with you there. She's the one that holds also. And then as you feel the earth, as you're aware of that relationship you have with earth, and now you're here, you're alive in this body, this time, what is yours to do? What is really, truly yours to do in this time, in this moment? And you can make it really small. It can be something that is very small, and just for the next hour, what's yours to do? Don't get stuck in, oh, I don't know, because it's very easy to get stuck in there. But you can make it really small. And think about this reciprocity also. What is yours to do? Maybe you plant a flower, maybe you take a deep breath, maybe, and it can be bigger. You can also ask it for the next 5 years, what's yours to do? What can you give? What are your qualities and talents? What can you give into the world? And don't try to put it too much on you want to be received by another human.
Mm-hmm.
Can be a trap that you want to be seen in what you give. And let's see if we can go beyond that. If I go and plant a seed into the land here somewhere, nobody will probably see it, and there's a good chance that nobody will ever noticed it, that I've done that. So it's not about me. The question is to me, but what comes out is not so much about me. It's a service to the land, it's a service to this earth, it's a service to the community, the human and more than human community. Something like that I would offer.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and adding to that, that we can really feel, is my circle a very small circle? That means it's just my contribution, that what is mine to contribute. Is it just my little garden or my family, my little circle? Is it a bigger circle?
Mm-hmm.
Tribe, a community, my village, my street, whoever? Or is it an even bigger circle? In my contribution is really for, let's say, the collective, the healing of the collective.
Mm-hmm.
Even bigger, and that is really making that connection between this world and the other worlds, the non-visible world, the energetical world. So it's but the only way we can know that is by being true to ourselves and listen and be present and observe and truly remember what the earth wants to tell you. What is your relation and what is truly yours?
Mm.
Wow. In that, Carole, I also feel from the beginning you've been talking about listening to the earth. I open the earth. I walk the earth. I am with the earth. What am I receiving back to the earth? So I feel that we need to touch a moment the theme of cycles. We are diving into this feminine memory wisdom. So I feel we need to take a moment to talk about cycles, living in cycles, understanding the cycles of life. We love to hear what you wish to say about that.
Oh, Veerle.
Mhm.
And I'll just share what comes up in me, and it might not be what you mean, or so just give me back. But yeah, if we talk about this memory that many women that are born in cultures where we're not close to the land anymore, but there's memories in our bones also for being cyclical. Through our womb cycles, through the bigger cycles of life, becoming fertile from girl to fertile woman, then going towards menopause. We're made for that, and I can hear often the longing in women to live that wisdom, to embody that wisdom of being cyclical with the earth. But what comes to me specifically now is that in the quest work, what the quest work does is taking us over thresholds that connect the end of a cycle, you could say, to the beginning of another cycle, as the rites of passages. And if you look around in many different cultures on the planet, people as part of the bigger ecosystem, as part of the land of Earth, of this life, have known, separate from each other in a way, but it's not true, of course. We're not separate, but over long distances, have known that these connecting moments between the end of a cycle and the beginning of a cycle, that they were challenging moments, and that they needed extra care and extra time and energy, so we could make the transition. So there's many cycles throughout life, and humans from all over the place said, okay, we need to put extra care. If we can't make it from one cycle to another cycle, we become unhealthy. If we cannot let go what was part of that cycle, so we're open enough to receive the gifts of the next cycle, then our community, whether it's family or village or whatever, will become unhealthy. So that's what comes up for me if you talk about cycles, the human wisdom, so many different places of the planet, knowing that cycles are part of life and that they need extra care in the transition, that we humans need that moment of threshold of letting go what's not needed anymore in the next phase. And I think that's for although worked with many women, and also in my private life for myself, I see like there is the wisdom of being cyclical, but there's also the lack of these moments. And for who we are as human beings, it creates it makes it more difficult to live a cyclical life, also to honor the cycles and to be nourished enough in that, and to receive enough from life so we can keep giving. And to keep giving, we can also be open for receiving. So I love the work of the rites of passage work. I love the vision quest work for that, because they knew how important cycles are, but they also knew that as humans we need something extra there.
Of course, this living in cycles is a whole podcast on itself.
Yeah.
What I would love to extract from this is a holistic way of living. And the earth calls us back from linearity to a much more holistic way of being, living with the earth, with the seasons, in transitions. Because the mycelium of the earth and of ourselves is actually also asking that. It's inviting us to come back to, when you wish to come back to nature and to receive and to give, so that is in balance, then we need to integrate cycles, rhythms, a more holistic way of living. I feel that that is important to bring this back, because if you just do something with the earth, or we keep on pushing our bodies in the winter into more work and more work and more work. For example, we never take a rest. Just when the earth is in rest, it's not the moment to start working with the earth, but to listen, to observe. So there's this connection again that you were talking about from the beginning, and that I would love to bring in a moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really calling from the depths of my heart and your heart and our wombs to all these women who are living in cities to, as you said, from four high, go back down to the earth and feel what is, in what way do I really live a very linear life, and do I keep on pushing myself, and how can I bring back the question that you asked and bring back my body to, yeah, to the earth, to nature.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in simple things.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I always like this, like taking a small next step or think what's mine to do. Don't make it too big. It can be big. But you can start very small, and in the reconnection to being cyclical, being part of cyclical life, cycles. You can start doing your work of reconnecting wherever you are. We have the capacity of imagination. If I close my eyes, or for everyone who's listening, if you close your eyes and you imagine yourself in a beautiful landscape, or your favorite land, or the land of your ancestors where you were born, we have that capacity to go there, where we it's a power we have, and we can use also in the reconnection. Yeah. So it's a tool that's I lost it. I went two ways. It's interesting because I open this world. We have this huge capacity to travel inside. So even if we're sitting tree high, I once heard this woman, and she was in hospital. It's an example I want to give. She went to hospital and she was there for weeks and weeks. Don't remember the full story, but she had amazing reconnection experiences in the hospital, and she had one plant in a pot, and she started speaking to that plant, and we became, and she was not crazy. She was having, and she had really like epiphanies in her bed in a hospital, which is for most people not an easy environment to be in. So wherever we are, we have a huge capacity to go inside or to connect in very small ways with the cyclical world, with the other than human world, and start creating relationships. And it's the same as everyone has at least someone in their life that they really like, a human being, and really start thinking in the same way. Okay, I can say, good morning, plant. I can give them a name. And I can, okay, just greeting out loud.
Everybody did that as a child.
Yeah.
What way to survive in this world? Talking to them, really, really, really.
Yeah, and most children will do that, and then we stop. But even if you live in the city, you can go for a walk and you see a tree, and you can say, "Good morning, tree." You can start doing it out loud, or you see a bird, or even the clouds, or the wind that you can feel. And I think in there, it's already connecting with cyclical life. And then we can make it very personalized. Like for some women, it would be amazing to be more connecting with their womb, for example, and start there. And that is an amazing journey. Yeah, we can talk for hours and hours about that. Or for women like in my age and going towards menopause, to really put energy again there. Like, okay, it's the end of the fertile years, and that cycle changes, and to really start connecting with that again. Yeah, it's endless. Especially in the world as it's falling apart, and it's not the first time in the history that the world is falling apart. It's not the first time that the earth is going through huge transitions. But I think we're more like in a descent on the planet. So it's more like this than this. We're not really going up. So there's so many possibilities for us humans to say, okay, where shall I serve? Where can I reconnect? Okay, maybe with the trees, maybe with the stones, maybe with the waters, maybe with the fire. And you just choose one of them with your ancestors, with your own biological ancestors, that needs a bit of care, or with your spirit ancestors. It's an open field. And I know you're doing that work. You're taking people all the time into that connection. Yeah.
It's continually, there's a song coming up when I hear you speaking and sharing, and it is, may you know in your bones that the earth is your home. May you know in your soul you are worthy and whole. May you know in your bones that the earth is your home. May you know that you belong home. May you know that you belong home. And that word, belonging, for women on the earth, in the earth, remembering that we are earth, that we are channels of the earth, that we are made of earth, is so important. For ages, we've been cut off from the earth. This went open with the transcendental meditations, and down there, like really connecting our bodies again with the earth. And as you say, it can be with very small things. It is so important to remember who we are and to come home in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is really one of the most important aspects on earth wisdom. Remembering this deep connection that women have with the earth, with nature, with the cycles, the rhythms of nature, in our bones, in our womb, in every little part of our body. Wow.
Yeah. And it's there where we can feel centered. And it doesn't mean that life is perfect and we're not having bad days or sad days or even feeling depressed. Or sometimes I know a lot of powerful women, and maybe more than men, but maybe men speak it out less often or less easily. But I know a lot of powerful women that sometimes think like, what am I doing here on this planet? And so it's not that being connected to the earth in these times then makes life just all thriving, because we live in this ruptured world, but it gives a centering and it gives an empowerment, and it gives a relationship, and as you say, belonging here and now. And every one of us, no matter where we are, is on the earth somewhere. So we can all create sacred moments with the earth wherever we are. Even if it's in our imagination, or if we have a little garden, or we buy a pot, or it's available, and we can do every little step we do, and we can do so much, is then forward to the next generations, to those who come after us. And I believe also we heal backwards, because we are the living, we're not one individual. I'm the living body of my lineages.
Mm.
And not only human, even also the more than human. We exist out of bones and stones and stars and waters, and we are the living collection of whole lineages. And so that's our job, to pass it on. And we see, okay, can we leave this earth a little bit better than I received it? Can we give that extra bit, so the ones that come after us? And it doesn't matter if you have your own biological children or not. It's like, in the end, all children are our children.
again, what we plant, that little thing that we do, my contribution to something different, something bigger, it's also for the future, for the 7 generations to come, as we say.
Mhm.
Oh. Ah, my beautiful sister. So, if women want to reach out to you, I mean, you have a website. For what can they reach out to you? Connected to Earth Wisdom, connected to everything we've shared. What they can, yeah, where can they
Yeah.
come to you? What is your offer for them?
Mm. Um, Plan is this summer 2026 to adjust the website and to also make it into English. So until now, most of it is in Dutch there. And people can reach out to me individually, to have conversations, to have guidance about body, earth, sexuality. Also offer some groups now and then. It's not a lot in this moment because also a lot of my energy goes onto the land. We have sometimes places here for volunteers, people that come and help and help us with the regeneration of the land and live with us in these days or 2 weeks or something. Also offer place for private retreats here. Can include solo time, like solo quests, body work, sexological body work, work with the womb. Yeah, so maybe if there's resonance, people can reach out to me and then we can see what I'm in a time of my life also where I'm transitioning. My 3 main topics are earth, body, and sexuality. Maybe that's a good way to end this.
Beautiful. Yeah. Maybe tuning in if there's something else you would love to add,
Mm.
Carole, or that I would love to add. Let's just take like 1 more minute to feel if there's something to add, or maybe to, mm, yeah, offer a sentence or some words that really engage, that really embrace, also one of these beautiful words, embrace that we shared today. Mm, mm. There's something that comes up for me, and that is I've traveled throughout the world and I've been in places where nature was abused, where you can feel the dominion of mankind over nature, where I could feel destruction, where I could see the garbage, piles and piles and piles of garbage, where I was shocked by what I've seen, and I've seen a lot in my life, you know that. And I've been in places where I almost fall down on my knees in humbleness, in wow, I mean, Mother Earth, you are so amazingly beautiful and full of magic. I mean, really amazingly full of magic. And I really wish to call on to this partnership with nature, connection with nature, reconnection with nature. And to the question that you asked, what is mine? You don't have to do it all to discern what is mine, to contribute to a new earth, um, a genuine earth, an earth that we can keep on living, not only today, but also in 7 generations. Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Something you would like to add before we close?
Maybe I'd like to add like a prayer as a also as an invitation for people to start praying again, to find your own unique way also. Don't per se take over from lineages where you're not connected to, unless they really speak to you or there is a deep resonance, but also there to make your own prayers that really resonate, and so you can start to speak your voice. We started this podcast of remembering her voice. Know that your voice is precious. So I'd like to add that, just very small, as an invitation also, that it's okay for us women to speak out loud, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And if it feels scary, it's probably the right thing to do it. And I can still feel that sometimes, depending on the circumstance or the environment. I wanna thank the earth beneath our feet.
To our bodies, and then we end with your prayer. Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. I want to thank the earth underneath our feet. The earth here where I'm sitting, southwest of Portugal, and where you, Veerle, are sitting, southwest of Portugal, and also the earth underneath feet of who's listening in this moment, wherever it is on this planet. The specific place there. So I want to greet and thank the well-healed ancestors of these places. Thanks for having been with us, for being with us. So I want to greet and thank the well-healed ancestors of Veerle, so she can do this work. Those of mine lineages and well-healed ancestors of you who's listening. Thanks for having lived lives so we can be here today. Thanks to the waters, especially as the days are becoming hot here again in the Alentejo, in the Algarve. Thanks for the spirit of water. Thanks for your teachings. Yeah. Gratitude.
Let's take our candles, and in gratitude we blow out, and we send your prayers and this beautiful sharing into the world. Sister.